Okay, let's just dive right in. We are unpacking a film that really did the impossible. It took one of the most terrifying monsters in movie history, the Predator, and made him the hero.
He's the protagonist. It's wild.
We're doing a deep dive into the 2025 blockbuster Predator, Badlands.
It was such a massive gamble, but it completely paid off, setting all these new franchise records. I mean, when the director, Dan Trachtenberg, decided to show us the world from the Yacht's perspective.
And that's the species' actual name, which they finally made canon in the film.
Exactly. He just fundamentally changed the DNA of a 38-year-old series.
So our mission today is to really get into how he pulled that off.
Yeah, how he built this entire believable alien culture, a language even, and how this film finally gives us that massive, explicit link to the alien universe we've all been waiting for.
And we absolutely have to talk about the performances that made it work. I mean, Demetria Schuster-Kolomotangi and Elle Fanning, they were phenomenal. Because if you haven't seen the numbers, you should know we're analyzing a genuine phenomenon here. Badlands just smashed the franchise records.
It got the highest cinema score in the series history, an A from audiences.
And a $40 million opening weekend. That's the biggest ever for Predator.
That success is even more astonishing when you remember one really big decision they made.
The rating.
The rating. This is the first mainline Predator film to be rated PG-13.
Right. It's always been hard, our, visceral, bloody jungle gore.
Pure terror.
Yeah.
So moving to PG-13, it wasn't just a commercial choice to get more people in the seats. It was a signal. It told you the focus was shifting away from, human dismemberment.
And toward the psychology, the cultural conflict inside the yachtjaw species itself. It tells you right away. The violence in this movie has a motive, not just spectacle.
Well, that all starts with the main character, Dek.
This is that core shift. It's set after The Predator from 2018, and it just turns everything on its head. The hunter becomes the hunted, or at least the one we're rooting for.
We're finally seeing their society from the inside. Dek is a young Yautja, they call him a runt, from their homeworld, Yautja Prime.
And he's just desperate for his father's approval. His dad, Norchari, is the clan leader.
And the film sets up that brutal hierarchy immediately with that opening text.
Oh yeah, the epigraph. Yautja are prey to none, friend to none, predator to all.
That one sentence is their whole philosophy. And it's a philosophy that Dek is about to completely tear down.
That code is everything. But then the story it throws this emotional wrench into it. Dek is seen as too weak, maybe too compassionate for the clan.
So his older brother, Quay, who's trying to protect him, basically exiles him. He sends him to this hostile planet, Jenna.
And for that act of compassion, Jashar, the father, executes Quay right on the spot.
It's brutal, and that sacrifice is what fuels Dek's entire journey. He's stuck on Jenna, and the only way he can ever go back is to hunt and kill the planet's apex predator, the Khalees.
Which is a huge challenge for any performer. Let's talk about Demetria Schuster-Kolomotangi. He was born in Auckland in 2001, Samoan and Tongan heritage. The dedication he brought here is just wow.
He had to. He's young, but he's already shown so much range. We saw him in Jonah back in 2019, but he really broke through with that Rising Star Award at TIFF for the Panthers.
So he's done these intense roles before, but nothing like this.
Nothing, because the demands went so far beyond just being a big guy in a creature suit, right?
Right, the goal was subtle emotional expression for a creature that's usually just pure rage.
It was a massive technical leap. They used a traditional creature suit for the body, built by, the legend Studio Gillis of Amalgamated Dynamics. What a workshop.
The best in the business.
But the face was completely different.
Yeah.
Dek's face was all motion capture CGI, mapped directly from Schuster-Kolomotangi's performance.
So it wasn't just a static rubber mask. They were capturing every little twitch.
Every shift in expression, the slight movement of a mandible. It was all about translating human performance into alien emotion so that, for the first time, you could actually root for this creature.
You're asking an actor to show this deep, vulnerable struggle while he's buried under all that practical and digital stuff.
It's a total reinvention. And on top of all that, to really immerse himself, he learned the entire newly developed Yautja language for the role.
That's a staggering commitment.
Before this, they just clicked and roared. Now you have an actor delivering whole dramatic scenes in a constructed alien language. It just shows you they were building a culture, not just an action movie.
And that culture building leads us right to Dek's ally. This is where the universe really cracks wide open. So Dek is alone on Jenna, fighting to survive, and he ends up allied with this damaged synthetic android named Thea.
And this is the moment. The moment fans just went wild, Thea is explicitly made by the Weyland-Yutani Corporation.
The big one. The connection we've always theorized about is finally here, and it's not subtle.
Not at all. For decades, it was just thematic links, the hunt, survival. But this is the biggest corporate link we've ever seen in the main films. Weyland-Yutani is now an active player in the Predator timeline.
So they aren't just after xenomorphs. They're interested in weaponizing the Kalisk, and maybe the Yacha, too.
And that's where Elle Fanning comes in with this incredible dual role. She plays Thea, the reluctant ally, and her complete opposite.
Her sister synthetic, Tessa.
Right. And Fanning's ability to pull this off is just a testament to her talent. Tessa is the cold, ruthless Weyland-Yutani operative. Her mission is to capture the Kalisk.
And in the climax, she ends up using Deck's own weapons against him. She has his plasma caster.
Yeah. So Fanning had to create two totally distinct characters who look identical but have these completely different moral codes.
The critics loved her for it. She was called a sprightly breath of fresh air, the glue holding it all together.
And they all mentioned the action scenes.
Oh yeah, the reviews kept singling out the jaw-dropping action scenes involving her detached legs.
Which speaks to Thea's character, right? She is literally broken, incomplete. She's relying on Deck to survive, which mirrors his own outcast status perfectly.
And Elle Fanning, her career shows why she was perfect for this. She's been acting since she was 3.
Her scope is just incredible.
We know her from Somewhere in Super 8. Then she became a global star as Aurora in Maleficent.
But then you look at her TV work, like playing Catherine the Great in The Great.
An Emmy nomination for that.
Exactly. It shows she can handle that complex, nuanced dialogue. She's not just playing two robots, she's playing two AIs arguing about corporate policy versus, a budding sense of humanity.
And she was the youngest conjurer in history.
The versatility is just off the charts. To go from period drama royalty to a half-dismembered android carrying the weight of the alien universe on her shoulders, it's amazing.
But as great as the stars were, this film lives and dies on its world building. Let's dig into how deep Trachtenberg went with the lore.
The commitment here is almost academic. He makes the term Yacha and their homeworld, Yacha Prime, officially canon in the movies.
And those names come from a 1994 novel, right? Aliens versus Predator, Prey.
Yeah. Think about that. They're pulling from decades-old expanded universe stuff and making it essential to the main story. It validates years of fan theories.
And the deepest cut of all has to be the language itself.
Oh, for sure. We said Demetrius learned it, but the actual development of a full, consistent Yacha language by this linguist, Britton Watkins, that's just a massive undertaking for a sci-fi action movie.
It's not just random clicks and growls.
No, not at all. Watkins built the whole system based on the physical structure of the Yacha mandibles. Like, what sounds could they actually make? Wow. And what's really cool is where he drew inspiration from. He took the numbers from the self-destruct timer in the '87 film.
No, they.
Yes. And even symbols that were seen for a split second in Aliens vs. Predator. Requiem. It's a meta-language built from the franchise's own history.
That is a staggering level of detail. It makes
Right.
it feel so authentic.
It does.
But, okay, while the language is the foundation, what's the emotional payoff? What's the point of Deck's hunt for the Kalisk?
Well, the hunt itself is brutal. It follows that classic Predator structure. But the ending, the resolution, is where it completely flips tradition on its head.
He's driven by this code, by his father's expectations.
Exactly. But when he finally confronts the Kalisk, and we find out it's the parent of this little baby predator, but the Kalisk lets him live. It spares him.
Why? What saves him?
It's this beautiful subversive moment. Earlier in the film, the little baby Kalisk, Bud, marked Deck with its saliva. It wasn't an act of aggression, it was a sign of recognition.
Ah, shared vulnerability.
Yes. And the parent Kalisk sees that mark and chooses compassion instead of the kill. Deck realizes the lesson wasn't about the ritual, it was about the mark of shared life. It just shatters that pray to none code.
So, in the end, he chooses empathy over the clan's brutal rules.
And he defeats his father, Yor, in a duel, but rejects the very clan he was trying to get back into.
He's found his own clan, his family with Thea and the baby Kalisk, Bud.
That is the revolution. A species defined by solitary hunting is now centered around this non-traditional, multi-species found family.
And the music had to reflect that new identity, too.
Absolutely. The score was done by Sarah Schachner, who did Prey, and Benjamin Wallfish.
And Trachtenberg gave them a very specific instruction.
A very clear one.
Oh.
Do not use Alan Silvestri's original iconic themes. He insisted Badlands had to have its own sonic identity.
That must be so hard, to score a Predator film without that theme.
It requires a whole new approach, and what they did, which was genius, was they took the new Yautja language.
And put it in the score.
They used it as this powerfully chanting theme, woven in with all this intense percussion. It's the sound of the Yautja culture itself, not just in the dialogue, but in the rhythm of the film.
That's the perfect summary of this whole thing. Respecting the old lore by going deep into it while carving a totally new path.
And it worked. The film was a monster hit, 184.5 million worldwide, and that A-Cinema score just proves that audiences were ready to connect with the hunter.
They were ready to humanize the alien.
And the ending just sets up something so much bigger. Dek has defeated the old ways, he has his new family, and then this massive Yautja ship appears.
Right. And his reaction isn't fear, it's recognition.
He just looks up and says it's his mother.
The Yautja matriarch. I mean, if Trachtenberg is already developing a third film, and with all these confirmed talks about bringing Arnold Schwarzenegger back as Dutch,
Which would be monumental.
the arrival of the mother suggests this huge expansion of their clan structure is coming.
It's about to get incredibly complicated. And that brings me to my final thought for you, something to chew on. So we know from the lore that Yautja society is driven by this kill gland that makes them hyper-aggressive. They use regulators to control it. Now, Drangus has killed his father, the clan leader. He's rejected aggression for compassion and formed this family with an android and a rival creature. So with his powerful mother now on the scene, what kind of epic power struggle is he about to face? A struggle between his own biology, his new morality, and whatever his mother expects for the future of their clan. That's the real battleground for the next deep dive.